Dear President, dear delegates and rapporteur. So the youth delegates, first of all, welcome the conclusions of this election observation mission in Denmark, and in particular the mention of hate speech against women and minority groups, although this was very brief in the written recommendations. Thank you, rapporteur, for the presentation, et aussi merci pour le monsieur Barcols pour les...
And thanks to Mark Coles as well for raising the issue of the fact that you've got candidates in there counting the votes in the polling station. It's a problem.
There's also some other issues that electoral missions should take into account. They must go beyond these traditional, very formalistic approaches on, for example, the quality of the election administration and the polling procedures. There's more to it than this. So it's valuable criteria for sure, but not sufficient. So there's a lot of barriers for specific groups of candidates. And it's equally important to address, for example, gender equality and barriers for women and young candidates in particular. So first, I would like to make some remarks regarding women. So only 36% of the candidates in the November elections in Denmark were women at the local and regional level. And this percentage is actually the same at national level. And statistics shows that the women actually have the same preconditions to be elected afterwards once they are listed as a candidate. So in 2017, so the previous election, 26% of the nominated women and 25% of the nominated men were elected. So we have the same opportunities once they're listed as candidates. So the decisive factor for gender equality in these elections is whether there are women to vote for in the first place. And the Danish Institute for Human Rights, they actually address this. And they point out that it's actually the responsibility of political parties, and they have a special responsibility when it comes to promoting gender equality within their party lists. And they have to ensure a more equal distribution between genders in their candidate lists. So relating to this, we would concretely like to propose that the Congress collaborates with institutes like this, for example, the Danish Institute of Human Rights, in future election missions, so that you can take these factors more into account. Yes, and then just secondly, regarding the young candidates, both male and female, and they also face challenges within their political parties in particular. And I've personally spoken with many young candidates who were standing for the elections in November. And this was across the whole political spectrum. And according to them, there's a very, very present trend of youth washing. So they're listed in a way, so they are listed on the list, but just to show that we have young candidates, but they're not actually getting many of the party votes due to the way the votes are distributed afterwards. So we would just like to stress that the Congress should be more inclusive in the factors that you use for election monitoring. Thank you.